Roll me. We are live. Hello, YouTube. Hello, my name is Hayden. If you forgot about me, I do still work here. I wanted to reintroduce myself, and Tommy wanted me to personally get on here today and tell you about my hot streak that I'm on currently. Josh, you're making me nervous, man. Can you come sit in front of me? I don't like people behind me. I get very nervous. Very disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
It's just like that first day I came in here and you wanted me to fail. I did horrible one day when I first got here. Tommy asked Josh how I did and he put a thumbs up. He was trying to get me out of here and get fired. But back to the reason I'm making this show. Tommy wanted me to personally get on here today and tell you about my hot streak. So if you're on here, thank you for getting on. Share it onto your Facebook from the YouTube. And I'm going to get right into it. What I'm going to be talking about today is how I got here. I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm also going to teach and talk about how to bounce back. Because I was thinking, Tommy called me this morning. He wanted me to do this show because since the start of the year, I have 11 deals under contract, and I'm working on number 12 right now. So I wanted to tell you how I got here. And how I got here was the fourth quarter of 2022 I was on a cold streak. So the cold streak led to my hot streak. And I was thinking on the way here, how did I get into this cold streak? And it led me back to what led to the cold streak. And it was my last hot streak last year. Once I had a hot streak last year, I went 3 consecutive months where I made over 10 grand 3 months in a row. One month was 30 grand. The next month was 15, and the next month was 10. And if you saw me when I first came into this office the very first day, I promise you'd have never believed that man would be where I am right now. So I was very happy. I was proud of myself. I made a lot of money, and I always had big dreams and big goals. But honestly, I don't think I ever thought at this age I was gonna make that kind of money. So I got very comfortable, and it happened at the worst time because it was, I think, April, May, and June. And as you know, in real estate, the things we get under contract, everything is 30, 60 to 90 days out, right? So those months leading up, those months after the big months, the market slowed down, interest rates went up, and a time where I should have been working harder, I was working way less. And so on top of the market shifting and there being less buyers, interest rates rising, I was working less. So I had nothing going on. So in December, I had 0 closings. January, I was supposed to have 2 closings, and one, they were going through some family issues, and they ended up backing out of the contract, and the second one got pushed to February. So I went these 2 consecutive, and in November I only had 2 deals. So for 3 months I had 2 deals coming off a hot streak leading into the cold streak. Man, it really motivated me, and I was at a point to where I was not hitting any of my targets. I was coming in, I just couldn't get right, and I was wondering what was going on. And so the one thing I knew, Tommy always talks about, self-confidence. Self-confidence comes from telling yourself you're going to do something and doing it. And I was telling myself I was going to come in every day, make these calls. I knew I didn't have any closings coming. So I was coming in every day, telling myself I was going to make these calls, telling myself I'm going to make a video, I'm going to promote, I'm going to do all these things, and I wasn't doing shit. I was coming in, I was relaxing, and I just couldn't get right. And I was trying to get back, and I just couldn't. So, I just started with one thing. I started working out. That was the one thing, one target every day that knew I was going to do, and I was going to start building up on, or building off of. Working out. No matter what's going on, no matter how I felt, no matter how tired I was going to work out every day. And it started with that, and then I started getting my calls back, and nothing motivates you quite like being broke. And I started getting my calls back, started getting some things going, and really just kicked it into gear. And, I just want to say thank you to the people I had around me, Steven and Shawan and Tommy that were pushing me. And, I'm very thankful. I believe the way I'm wired is I got to learn things the hard way. So in the time I'm in now where I am on this hot streak, what'd you say, Tommy? Can't get right, So, what I learned thinking about this topic today is, man, I can't get too comfortable. I've got a lot going on right now, but as y'all know, that shit dries up quick. And Tommy always says, once you get a deal, you got to go to the next one. And in my last hot streak that I was on last year, that's what I didn't do. I got comfortable. I got complacent. Probably got a little cocky. Probably got a little proud of myself. And so at this time, that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focused on keeping on pushing. I'm focused on not getting too proud and celebrating, but not getting too happy. Not getting content with where I'm at, because I saw how quickly things can shift, especially in the market, especially in real estate. You just never know. My grandma was, I was having these big months. My grandma was telling me, she was like, Hayden, my grandma Christy, she said, Hayden, you better put some of that money back. You better save some of that money. And I was saving money, but as Tommy says, everything goes to zero. It doesn't matter how much you save. If you stop making it, eventually, no matter if you're spending it on bullshit or if you're spending it on expenses that you actually need, that shit will go to zero. It doesn't matter if it's $100 grand, $200 grand, $500 grand. You will go to zero. So I will say one thing I'm going to do this time that I didn't do last time, and it's to keep myself motivated, is I'm going to try to go to zero quicker. And that's not going to make sense to a lot of people, but I'm going to invest my money. I'm going to put my money to something where I don't see it, where I don't get comfortable, where I don't look in my bank account and see those big numbers and get excited and get happy and get proud and get content and thinking that I have something to fall back on.
What would you advise some of these people? Look at them shoes. How old are they?
About a year or two.
They look brand new.
Thank you.
Now, what would you advise some of these people? I'm taking over.
I would advise some of these people. I also thought back to what created this resilience in me and what created this kind of bounce back muscle, and it all goes back, as Cowboy says. It all goes back to when I first got here and the calls we made, and just calling every day, and Tommy beating the hell out of us with a stick, and just being hard on us, and I'm just thinking back, to pushing through that and creating the courage inside of me just to keep pushing every day, and the commitment muscle.
I'm not doing that like I used to.
Yeah. But I also think it's on the person or the individual, because at that time I was broke when I got here. If I'm being honest, I had a lawn business. I was working at a restaurant. I was cleaning houses, but I was broke. My mentality was broke. I was trading hours for money, and I didn't understand things the way I do now. And the one thing when I got here that I feel like helped me create this resilience and bounce back muscle is my mindset was, no matter what happens, no matter what I go through, I'm going to keep pushing. And even now, I'm getting beat up now. Even though I'm having this success and I'm on a hot streak, I'm getting beat up now. I caught a lead last night that I worked with, a new construction lead, actually. So I worked with this lead. We already did their selections in a subdivision we have. Met with them 3 or 4 times. They changed their plan. They loved me, talked me up. Rubbing my back. I did no wrong in their eyes. So I stayed on top of them. They started ignoring me. And I knew when they started ignoring me, something was up. But I texted them yesterday. They said, hey, man, appreciate you reaching out, but we bought a house somewhere else. And so I asked them, I said, well, hey, congrats. I told them, I said, congrats. I wish I would have done more so that you hit me up when the time came. And they just said, we didn't need you, man. We've bought a new construction house before. And I was thinking, like, man, that shit sucks, and it does. Let me say the name. Corey. His name is Corey.
Corey. Damn.
I'm not gonna say what I'm getting mad again. Sorry, but no, I mean,
Fuck you, Corey.
fuck you, Corey. Sorry, Mama. But no, I mean, those are the emotions that I had. But you know, I was thinking about it when Tommy asked me to do this show. You know, I could let that beat me up. You know, I mean, that shit sucks.
We lost a deal.
We lost a deal.
Was he
You
going
know.
to Creeks Bend?
Nope. Griffith Park, right beside it.
Was it a Zillow lead?
Yep.
Damn, that hurts even more.
Yeah. And you know, I always take responsibility, and
Who was his lender?
he was with David Prince. Shout out to David Prince.
David Prince.
But yeah, you know, I always take responsibility, and I know I could have reached out more. I know I could have done more to follow up and stay connected. But I was texting him, I was calling him, you know, and shit like that's gonna happen. You're gonna get beat up, but you know, the things that we've learned through our training is to just be able to take a punch or take a lick and keep pushing.
Jason, can you take a punch?
And I took a lick. I took a punch in my cold streak last year, and it all started from a hot streak. So the question is, where do I go from here? You know, do I keep pushing, or do I make the same mistake I made last year, get comfortable, get complacent,
I
and
can tell you how to not get complacent.
how?
As soon as you get that money, it needs to be spent somewhere.
Go to zero.
Because your money's going to zero. It's either going to go to zero in a bad fashion, blowing it, doing whatever, or it's going to be productive. But either way, you need to go broke.
I had that money sitting, and I look at my account, and it made me feel good. Ooh, I saw all that money, but it also made me comfortable, man. It made me lazy. It made me not do the things I was doing to get to that to get to where I was.
It's amazing how quickly money disappears.
And that shit was gone quick. So, I hope I helped you today. If you're watching this
I hope
later,
it inspired some of
I
these.
did. I believe I did. Josh is looking pretty inspired. But if you're watching this, thank you for watching. If you made it through all the way, if you watch this later, please like, comment, and share, and subscribe to the Good Time Tommy page. We're trying to grow our YouTube.
Thank you, Hayden. Thank you. Give it up.
Thank you.
Give it up, Connor.